Okay. Think I have everything set up. I think. We shall see. Turn that off. Impossible. Impossible. What's up, Jesse? Yes, I am alive. Connor, how dare you doubt? What's up, Orange? Data, thanks for the $2. Connor, is this encounter for the 7th or the 8th kind of weird? I'm going to say 7th. Say 7th. We do everything in Central here. I mean, you know, since I don't have one for the 7th, that'd be the one to start with. There's always the 8th for the 8th, right? Jesse, the bricks up close. Do we ever have? I mean, I guess I did have when they were on the table, they were closer, but Jesse, thanks for the 18 months. I've been working on the room tour, actually. Connor, congrats on 100K. Thank you. Yeah, 100K on YouTube is pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Thought it might land sometime this year, maybe like this summer or something, and so came early, and that was pretty exciting, undoubtedly, because I've been putting out short form content like a beast. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate the encouraging words. 19 months, Connor. Thank you for that. It's awesome. I've been finishing a lot of stuff lately. I think I need to check. Well, Jesse, you're the stats person, so maybe you're the best one to check, but I've been meaning to look. I think pretty soon I'll have put out more shorts in these past kind of, you know, couple of months than like my entire history before, like the amount that I'm putting out. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's been having a pretty positive impact overall. Let me get some paint on this page because I know I'm going to want it. Going to want it to have a mess. Well, thank you. I'm glad. Thanks, Connor. I mean, yeah, shorts at this point are undoubtedly like the driver of eyeballs to the channel. You know, that's what does it. Nothing wrong with that. And I enjoy making them. You would like to think that. I like to think. Controls time. Love the guy following with. Oh, thanks. Hey, Data, you've had to listen to other people while you craft. Such a shame. Sorry to hear that. What's up, Meow? Willick, good morning to you. Oh, I can't hold that against anybody. I was going to say if I'm not around to stream, but I would say just in general, I don't think I hold that against anybody. see if I even remember how to go about doing this. It's been a minute. Been working on new habits. I'm out of mine. Out of old habits, I should say. So Willick, that page over there is going to be a doodled version of what we're the main thing we're gonna put together here, which probably help if I popped out like that. There we go. We're going to come up with what we call the daily encounter, which is basically we're going to generate some ideas. We do it in sort of a fun way. Get all the proper dice out so I can do it. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Doing the brewing? Yeah, exactly. Jesse, how's wife? Thing 1 and thing 2 and dog and cats? Everyone is great. Thanks for asking. All right, where are we? 7th. Crazy. We're here 5 and 7. So the big premise of this thing here is that we've got these 5 lines. So this is a 5-year journal. The idea of this, I think it's called, was it Midori? A Midori journal. The idea is that you keep it for 5 years, and you just add a new entry each year to the day. So the concept here is that we've got these, 5 or 6 lines here, and we're going to fit an encounter in there. So generally we do that by building out some simple tables. So here on the left-hand side, we'll use prompts that I've written up on the front inside cover. We'll do a D100 roll for that. And this is just to kind of spin us off in some direction. Let's see. Didn't roll that very well on camera. You can tell I'm rusty. 73. 73 says exotic beliefs. That's our inspiration. Exotic beliefs. What's up? Do I? Don't I? I do. I also have cats. Stuff gets everywhere. Hacksman, how's it going over there in TikTok land? Yes. Exotic beliefs. So I need to pull up the tables. Have not used them in a minute. They do. Yeah. Okay. And where's the over here? Oh yeah, didn't do that. And that. Cool. Will, if you're new to TTRPGs, vids have been a lifeline inspiration. Truly thanks. Glad to hear it. Yeah, no problem, of course. Ryan, you had a DM intrusive thought about a trap. What if a warded door had a riddle on it, and the answer to the riddle was the activation word for the trap, and it just needed to be lockpicked? The answer to the riddle was the activation word for the trap. Hey, what's up, Jay? Hey, Noel. Yeah, I hope you've been doing well also. All right. Let's see here. So, exotic beliefs. That makes me think about maybe something that like a witch or a warlock would believe. Ooh, and I kind of like that idea. Like, what would motivate someone to be kind of practicing the dark arts? Like, what are their beliefs? Kind of an interesting thought. Put ourselves in the antagonist shoes a little bit. What's up, Kenobi1? It's going well. Thanks for asking. Exotic belief, i.e. conspiracy theory, could certainly be conspiracy theory. There's Twitch holding up its end of the deal with a little bit of spam. Hold on. Thanks, Kenobi1. Also, I can do something about it. What can I do about it? So glad that Twitch makes it easy. It's not really fair. It's just not a system I am familiar with. There we go. How do I boom? There we go. I just need practice. As a conspiracy, trying to prove something, the gods are dead, trying to bring their family back, the potions. I mean, that certainly qualifies. Kind of like somewhere between conspiracy theory and like old wives' tales, I guess. Or like urban legends. Patron fed lies to believe in it. Could be. I think okay. I think I have a concept we can run with. Here, let me get it started here. All right. So the first table we're going to make, she turned to witchcraft due to her belief in blank. So she turned to witchcraft due to her belief in blank. I'm going to throw out there like maybe witchcraft's healing magic due to life after death, due to her belief in a fate worse than death. The old gods or the previous reincarnation. Oh, reincarnation. Yeah. She was practically forced to. I could see that. In that case, her beliefs, like maybe she turned to witchcraft due to her belief in maybe someone's lies. We can get more specific than that. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in her mentor's lies. I should be typing these up. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in fate worse than death, her mentor's lies. Certainly, like, as a source of power. Or, like, maybe, what do we have here? Like, fate, there's sort of a fear and a future idea. Then there's this straight false information. There could be like maybe it's a seeking knowledge due to her belief that it's like the truth is out there type of thing. A prophecy, I like that. Due to her to help destroy it, the fate. Hey, Paul, the fate could be controlled. Jesse, I believe I do. If not, I should look into that. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, now it should be, but we'll see. Willick, thanks for the $5. I appreciate that. That's awesome of you. Belief that the answer to magic questions is hidden in a numerical formula, like in the movie Contact, how pi calculated far enough and a message inside it. So I like the, yeah, you guys are floating around two things that I like, both of them. Sort of knowledge focus and power focus, or some sort of summoning or some sort of creature. I think that's neat. Okay. Age of Change. So I have reanimating her loved ones. I think that's a good one. So something like secrets hidden in the forest, maybe, or knowledge. How about the truth the forest held? The secrets the forest held. Cleansing the foolish, almost like a dark take on like a paladin or something like that. The punishment that all men deserve. Going back to the summoning idea and the prophecy, like something that summoning something that can like as a means of protection. So due to her belief in dark creatures protecting yeah, just something like that, like dark creatures protecting her town, something like that. Let's take that idea of nobility. Her belief in like herself as a not cursed, but some sort of like a, you know, whatever the opposite of noble is, a cursed noble, basically. Belief in her like nobility in the underworld, maybe. I'm gonna say her status in the underworld. Gives us a couple of directions to take it. Ooh. All of this has been replaced by shit. So it's her her belief in, like, it's her suspicions, her belief in the almost like corruption. So she turned to witchcraft due to her belief in a fate worse than death, her mentor's lies, reanimating her loved ones, the secrets hidden in the forest, the strength of cursed creatures, her status in the underworld, her belief in, what's a good way to phrase that? How about we simplify it? Let's just say, like, the sickness in her town, or maybe like the sickness around her. She became a symbol of peace. Okay. So, or something like that. She was convinced, her belief in her ability to conquer it, like in her she turned to it due to her belief in her own like her mastery of it. Okay. Trying to think about the best twist to do on this for the second table. Something like, maybe things didn't work out the way that she thought. As it turns out, what she believed was maybe. We can do better than that. She turned to work after her belief in. Ooh. I got one. Okay. Hey, Mikhail, welcome to the stream. Ever tried oracles, like how people use it for solo play? I'm not familiar. Yeah, it might be some. I know we've got some people in the community that do solo play stuff. I don't have as much experience with that. I'd have to look into it. All right. So the first sentence, she turned to witchcraft due to her belief in all these wild things. Second sentence, she's known for binding her soul to blank. I'm gonna know she's infamous. So, best thing we can do here is completely forget the first list. Obviously, we're going to bring it back together and do some rolls on them. And that'll be the fun part. But for brainstorming purposes, for the second list, we want to think about the types of things that would be interesting or maybe peculiar for a witch to bind themselves to bind their soul to. So this is almost, I would imagine, akin to, it's not quite like a phylactery type of thing, but I'm thinking of like items and weapons and armor and the types of things that are going to be cursed that players encounter. And this witch, for her to be infamous, for her to be known, would have to have bound herself to something different. Okay, it's kind of like a prompt D100 word table to help nurture ideas like control or artifact that you interpret. Oh, okay. So kind of like my D100 prompts that I use on this stream. Well, based on that, it sounds like I would like it. People's cherished possessions. Hey, Tenma. Witch binding herself to something. What about an eyeball? A wart? I like that. Sword that killed someone. No, it could be anything. It could be anything. I think that my favorite ideas for these lists in particular, because they are so short, it's going to be two ideas together. So let's take like the sword idea. So the sword, I like that. We'll say that. So binding her soul to the sword that killed the king. Let's do that. Binding to dreams. Okay, let's use that. How about specific types of dreams? Like she bound herself to dreams of, like, maybe it's like, how about dreams about lost loved ones? You see what I mean about two ideas, coupling them and then making that just gives it a little bit more to work with. So I shortened it. Dreams of lost love specifically. That's a peculiar thing. That makes you almost like some kind of like a, not a folk hero, be a folk villain, I suppose. So she turned to witchcraft due to her belief in something or other, and she's known for binding her soul to the sword that killed the king. Dreams about lost love. Wineskin. Just severed limbs. She's bound to any and all severed limbs. That's not a terrible idea. Particular weather. How about the forest mist? Hey, Just Drake, her daughter's scarf. I like that. Bound to Mirrors is always good over in YouTube chat. Witches and Mirrors are always... If we hadn't put the weather one, that would have taken me along with the weather one to like some sort of a, you know, reflection in water, maybe. Could be kind of neat. Going back to the passageway, some sort of a location. Could be a trail. Could be a mountain trail, or like a canyon trail, maybe. Could be kind of interesting. Snowmen. Yes. Could do something with vehicles too. It could be like boats, ships. Or particular yeah, we'll stick with the bound herself to the... Ooh, we could also do a particular type of like flower. That could be fun. So let's do, I'm gonna do the mountain path. Ooh, a dragon's egg. I like that a lot. Good one. Drake, a type of forest creature or a pet, perhaps? Yeah. Yeah, some type of creature. I mean, I've used the idea before, but I've always liked the Ooh, what if this would actually be fun at my table, because it feels like I'm always getting the rough edges of summoned creatures by, you know, spellcasters who can do that. What if she was bound to any summoned or any conjured forest creature? Be like, yeah, you can keep conjuring creatures all you want. You know, the witch has bound herself to that, right? That would be actually a really fun way to, as a table, write off certain magic as like, okay, that witch corrupted that magic. It's just gone. We're going to tear that page out of the book. 10 mile, what if the witch was bound to an ancient golem? Yeah. Well, that's kind of like a snowman. Going back to Data's suggestion, right? How about we kind of mix the two together? Maybe a maybe we could do like an ice golem. How about a guardian ice golem, a frosty mountain golem? Yes. Your words, not mine. It's definitely not frosty. Just saying. The tomb of a dead lich. So let's play with this. Let's think about this tomb idea. Could be conjured to like, you know, burial grounds, or even like a you know, particular stone, or like a relic. Kind of like a relic. I wonder if there would be bound to a tomb with a name on it. What about like being bound to, hey Tess, I know, right? What a weird time it is. What if a witch had bound her soul to like green fire? You know? Or maybe blue fire. Something, a very specific type of like just sort of attached to something, kind of like the ice thing, kind of just like an elemental. Be lots of ways to have that pop up. Like, wait, what color is the fire? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. I like that one. Okay. Now, this is the fun part, where we are going to now roll. Not every combination, because that would take ages. But the goal is to get a combination in, you know, to use everything at least one time. And technically we're cheating. This was for yesterday. Or today, depending on what time it is. Doing great, Tess. Thanks for asking. And this is call this one Wicked Ways. All right. Well, it's not your fault, Tenma. I've been not streaming at all. You know, I feel pretty comfortable with my streaming habit. You know, when I sort of lock in, I can stream plenty. And what I've been working on these past few weeks is trying to find a good balance for the same thing for videos. I've been doing a lot of short form videos and long form. I mean, stream clips mostly, but I've got some ideas for longer form stuff. So the challenge now here in May is going to be trying to balance those two. Can I stream and balance that with the types of videos that I want to put out? We're going to find out. TC, I've not posted any board updates yet. No, I'm not even sure I know what that usually for. Do you know? All right, let's roll some of these ideas. Double sevens. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in the sickness surrounding her. She's known for binding her soul to a guardian ice golem. Now you can see where all of these ideas kind of get smooshed together and get really interesting. So turning to witchcraft due to the sickness surrounding her and being soul bound to a guardian ice golem puts this witch and this entire situation firmly in the mountains or near enough to the mountains that they can be used as like refuge. And it kind of feels like here's an idea. Yes, witchcraft is bad, but if you've become convinced that your entire village has been effectively overtaken by vampires, like everybody's bit, everybody's transformed, and you use your dark magic to preserve them. Let's say put them on ice. Let's say until the witch can figure out, she's convinced she can fix them. She can cure this sickness. She's like, until then, we're just going to lock everybody away in the mountains in the cold. Here's an ice golem that's also me to protect. And then, you know, at some point she failed, but the remnants of her scheme persist. Kind of an ice prison, TC, yeah. But the witch could be long gone, and then, you know, party hey, look, there's some sort of an icy dungeon with like this golem. Let's break in there and see if there's any treasure. Obviously, there could be a better MacGuffin to bring the party there, but now they're unwinding, like, we've got this golem who, as we defeat it, now we've got this strange, confused, kind of evil-sounding ghost of a witch that's connected to these ice shards, and she can't remember, but she begins to remember as we break into the place that, oh no, we're now unleashing how many vampires that have been sleeping here for like untold amounts of time. It's a witch, but the witch story is tied to this basically whole like dungeon concept. I love it. This is why I love doing these. Wow. Fortuitous. Double eights. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in her mastery of it. Okay, a little prideful. She's known for binding her soul to green fire. She's known for her mastery of it. Or she picked it up due to her mastery of it, and she's bound to green flame. So these are simple ideas, but if I had to string them together, I would do something like what ended in witchcraft began in study. Right? This is she thought she could master the dark magic because she was in school for arcane arts, whatever, and said, oh, I can dip into this and this will be fine. And then being bound to green flame feels like the punchline. that feels like, you know, she did this thinking she could conquer it, and in her failure, basically, because who binds themselves to flame like that, especially for witches? That feels like, you know, that would feel like a very dangerous thing to like soul bind to. But if that's how she did herself in, it's almost like she's become, it's almost like this witch in her hubris now becomes inexorably tied to a particular like component. Wait, is that a LOA? I don't, what's LOA? Tess. Three we can use. 7 I already used. That one is no 6. We'll do a 3 and a 6. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in reanimating her loved ones. She's known for binding her soul to conjured forest creatures. Reanimating her loved ones. She's bound to forest creatures. I mean, maybe she was a druid. Maybe she was or at the very least part of some sort of, you know, community of forest dwellers. Imp she made to help mom and dad. I like that, TC. I think it definitely feels like, yeah, being bound to them would be, it's a sentimental thing. It's a sentimental thing, and potentially, so I could imagine reanimation, you know, maybe not working out, and itself being cyclical, right? So maybe it didn't, maybe the loved ones do return, but it is hard to predict. It's by like the light of the moon. Are they zombies? Are they ghosts? Are they spirits? But being bound to forest creatures, conjured forest creatures, allows the witch's gaze to extend far and wide to basically catch sight of them. You know, this awful tradition that she's probably unintentionally created. So there's a few things kind of going on there that are kind of neat. Be fun to tease them out, make them more specific. 4 and 5, I think we're good. Let me music going again. Okay, 4 and 5. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in the secrets hidden in the forest. Secret seeker. She's known for binding her soul to a dragon's egg. Secrets hidden in the forest, and she binds herself to a dragon's egg. So when I think about a witch binding herself to a dragon's egg, that feels like the type of egg that you never, ever, ever want to hatch. Unless you want like a reborn witch, you know, with the longevity and strength of a dragon. And the secrets hidden in the forest, that's why she turned to witchcraft in the first place. I don't know, this is a little bit of you know, it could be the secrets that are hidden. So she's drawn in, speaking of cat hair, she's drawn into the coven because of the secrets that they have, because of it's like the It's like in the prequels, like being seduced by the dark side. Like, oh, you don't even know what the dark side's capable of. Something like that. And to make another reference that I did, another sequel that didn't work out for me in Tears of the Kingdom. It's like that idea of like, oh, it's forbidden to become a dragon, right? That's like, nobody can do that. Nobody does that. But she believes she figured it out. And the cool part is, it doesn't even matter. We don't know. Nobody can know whether she was correct or not. But as soon as it was identified that that was the ritual that she had completed, it was determined that like this egg would be locked away in the vault, kept warded, and basically stuck outside of time. That this egg is too dangerous. You know, the witch is our it's like by way of these witches of these witch ideas, we're actually like building out all of this interesting lore, which I think is kind of fun. Dragon blood keeps the grass green. Yeah, that's a good way around to it too. And a dragon's lair or a thieves hideaway had the dragon. Yeah, I mean, it could have been all over the place. 6, I can do a 6 and a 2. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in her status in the underworld. She's known for binding her soul to dreams about lost love. This one works pretty well. This one kind of snaps together. Because back to that seduced to the dark side, this is a witch who became a witch because she was first involved with somebody demonic, somebody from the underworld, from the deep below, whatever you want to call it. And as a result of that relationship, she thinks, okay, well, yeah, I'm a witch now. Look at what I'm going to be. Look at what's available to me now. And then having that inevitably broken for one reason or another, and then kind of cursing the world, binding herself to anyone's dreams of lost love. Like, I imagine any type, like that's such a neat idea. Like I don't sort of encourage or sort of prod players when they're doing like shorter, well, I guess it'd be long rests only, to like, oh, what do you think you dreamt about? But how interesting if there were beings like this witch who it's like, well, if you have a dream about X, Y, or Z, like then they can pop up into it. That gives them access to it, right? Dreamwalkers. Romeo and Juliet versus D&D. I mean, in a very D&D way, yeah, it kind of is. I like that one too. A lot of good ideas in this one. We can do 1, and 3. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in a fate worse than death. She's known for binding her soul to the mists of the forest. What would be a fate worse than death in the mist of the forest? A lot of forest stuff in this one. Mist in general, tying herself to the weather. Kind of seems like, well, I mean, a fate worse than death could be being forgotten. Could be being nothing, right? This is, there are lots of sociopaths and villains in our midst that have no drive other than they want to be remembered, right? You know, that we could all be limited by aspirations to just, you know, I don't know, stream on the internet about games. That's a good way not to, you know, make a mark somewhat without becoming a witch or, you know, billionaire. So almost like, I guess, like in imbuing with the weather, the mist of the forest, it's almost like sort of a witch creating her infamy, right? Like I'm going to, like, the forest is named after her or something like that. Maybe she had to achieve something crazy in order to accomplish the ritual. Not at all, Tess. No, I was not. Not at all. Can I tell you one of the things that has always bugged me, I think the most, not the most, one of my little pet peeves about D&D, about this game and hobby in general, is the really weird ways that certain words get kind of walked around. Like I've never liked the word hag. Like I get it, I get how it's used, but I've never liked it. I always just use witch because I think it's a lot more universal and it's not as weighted as that word. But it's also always bugged me, and I know it's like because of the mixed purposes. Like I don't know, I didn't grow up with D&D. I grew up with other, like, magic lore, pop culture stuff, and I always thought that, like, well, yeah, you've got a witch and you've got a warlock, but they are effectively like different versions of the same sort of and then in D&D it gets more complicated because it's like, well, they introduced warlock over there, and then warlock is like a class type, but witch, and it's like, are these connected, are they not? It's all kind of weird. It's different in other systems. Yeah, I guess that's just a 5e gripe, but I mean, it's not a gripe really. I just do my own thing. I just use my own words. They're just words. They're made up. We can do whatever we want. Can I do 8? 8 and... Well, I can do 5. So we'll re-roll. Can we do 2 5s? Cannot. Can I do a 5 and a 4? I can't. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in the strength of cursed creatures. She's known for binding her soul to the mountain path. Okay. So she ends up binding herself to the mountain path, and she turns to witchcraft because of her belief in the strength of cursed creatures. So I think that this mountain path is a trial. Walking this path, climbing this path. Hey, Crispy Popcorn, Adventure Generation. I don't know what you mean, but welcome to the stream. We're just brainstorming based on this prompt. I think you should be able to see it on screen, or based on these tables we wrote. So traversing the mountain path or scaling it or whatever is beyond it is like a trial of greatness, or something gladiators face, or like something for the gods. There's some sort of trial that, and before she was a witch, like, she was compelled to sort of dive into dark magic because the strength of the cursed creatures would basically allow her to complete this trial, not realizing that by doing so she would be ultimately rejected by whoever was responsible for the trial anyway, and as a result sort of curse the path, curse the trial itself. So maybe like anybody in the future who wants to take it would have to face the specter of this witch that's sort of bound herself to it. Could be kind of neat. I like it. Usually there's like 1 or 2 ideas where I'm like, oh, I want to use that. And this one, it's like, I think every one of these ideas is something I want to use. Maybe I just like witch stories. 3, no. Okay, we can use the 1. And can't use the 7. Actually, what can I use? We might be down to the last one. It's just 2 and 1. 2 and 1. Okay, last one. She turned to witchcraft due to her belief in her mentor's lies. She's known for binding her soul to the sword that killed the king. Okay. Crispy, you're currently prepping your weird concept campaign at the moment. You love to hear it. That's awesome. Weird concepts are the best. Okay, so this story tells itself. She turned to witchcraft due to her mentor's lies. She's known for binding her soul to the sword that killed the king. So her mentor killed the king. Her mentor betrayed her. Her mentor, I'm imagining some sort of like, you know, whoever this mentor was in sort of the court didn't have the power they wanted, saw this witch as a means to power. Like maybe the witch is closer to or has like a connection to this power and co-ops that power and uses it to basically enchant the sword to like actually be able to use against the king, who's probably well protected. A jealous noble, the king's advisor made. Yep. And then effectively like using that magic, kind of using it up and drawing the witch into the blade. And so it's like a cursed sword, but like she didn't mean to. Yeah. Super cool. I like it. Good stuff. All right. So that gives us that. I'm going to attempt to turn this into a spread in this over here now. Crispy, your campaign's keystone question is, what does it cost to remember and what does it cost to forget? Nice. I like it. See you, Tess. See ya. All right. Let's see here. We've got lots of foresty type stuff. We've got this fun orange and yellow color. Forest. We've got a mountain path. We've got bound to a sword, bound to dreams, forest mist. Dragon's egg, that's fun. Conjured forest creatures, guardian ice golem, green fire. What's up, Gibson? A short spot? How could you? I created all of those by mine own hand. Thank you. Yeah, 100K was pretty exciting. Crispy, level 12 players get kicked to level 1 due to memory loss. Each level up is remembering. Yeah, that's a solid trope. Give them answer a question about their characters and ask a new one for the next level. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, Gibson, I've been trying to find a balance, find a way, optimize as much as I can to where I can put out those short videos, because if I can maintain it, it seems to be a really reliable way to drive a lot of eyeballs to the channel, which is obviously good. More so than not making those videos does. And so yeah, now the challenge is, can I do that and also maintain my streaming habits? We'll find out. We'll find out together. But I mean, the shorts are why, 100K happened now and not in a couple of months, which is what I was on track to hit. Nope, this is just me doodling, practicing, playing around. I think that part of what I really liked about, part of what was really fun about this stream going all the way back is that it's been sort of emergent, sort of like I've been figuring out as we go. And so I like writing them down, but I also want to explore these ideas more. And kind of experiment with this kind of doodly, whatever you call it, whatever my art is. And so this is a way to do it. Some of it could end up in the zine at some point. Cool. That works for me. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Oh, thanks, 10. You know what? It's just practice. I'm still figuring out what this means. I just know that I really like doing it, and I want to keep doing it. And like so many things that I work on, like the one thing that I've become really comfortable with is this idea that if I do something 100 times, I will see progress. I'll see things develop, and so it just makes me want to try more things out. And this is one of those things. So we'll see. I've got many more pages to go, but hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I am thrilled to chat with everybody again. And you know what? We'll do it tomorrow. Here, I'm gonna build things up, build the hype. So definitely want to do another daily encounter 2 days in a row. Boy, would that be something. And I want to do some research on stream. I need to do some research for a new project. Something I haven't done before, but I've been talking about doing for a long time. So my goal tomorrow afternoon is to jump on and research. I think we're going to be taking a look at the starter recommended starter adventure, like whatever the newest, most modern, whatever the most up-to-date one is. I don't even know what it is yet, because I want to do a video showing people how I would tackle running one of these pre-prepared adventures. And the way to start doing that is by pulling one up and just kind of reading through it and piecing out what we can here on stream. So that's what I want to do tomorrow. Not sure what time yet. Afternoon. Hopefully I can balance it out with getting some video stuff out. We shall see. Thanks, 10. Thanks, Data, Gibson, everybody over on Instagram chat, TikTok, Twitch. We're everywhere now. And over time, it'll become second nature to run all of these things at once. Thanks, everybody. Do it again tomorrow. Guys, have a good one.